There's no better time.
If I ever needed you, I need you now.
There's no better time.
If I ever needed you, I need you. Hey. If I ever wanted you, I want you now.
A very pleasant good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Big Stone Television. What I'm going to say to you this morning is very, very important to the growth of this beautiful country, Jamaica. I'm going to speak today directly to parents because you are a child's first line of education. You are a child's first line of showing respect to others and showing how to be grateful for some of the things that others do for you. There was an incident that happened recently. Came to the school, and then there was an altercation between. Now, before I dig deeper into that and share my opinion on it, I just want to look at a few things that is happening in our schools. Quite a few years ago, I went to a school in Anchovy, St. James. And when I went to the school in Anchovy, I was invited by a friend of mine who wanted to do a old student reunion. And when I look at the feet of practically every single student, they were wearing Clark's shoes. I got up this morning, and while I was going through TikTok, I saw a broadcast on CBS, but they put it to TikTok. And it was a school that every single child practically was wearing a designer shoe. But not every child in the class or in the school could afford to wear a designer shoe. So for that child that couldn't afford to wear a designer shoe, the others was looking down on him, ridiculing him, laughing at him, looking at him, and to say your status is not up to our par. You're nothing. And a 12-year-old child saw what was happening to the student, how withdrawn the student became, how sad the student became. And he went home and he started to cry to his mother. And he said, "Mama, I want that money that he was going to use to buy my Christmas gift. I want that money that he was going to use to give me for my allowances and so on. I needed to buy a pair of shoes for a kid." The pair of shoes that he bought cost about $135 US. And he brought it to school and he gave that child. And what really sticked out in my mind, he was asked by the reporter, "Why did you do it?" And he says, "First thing first, it hurt me to know that because of a shoe which was made for walking, that particular shoe is now seen as division or dividing. A shoe is just made for walking and nothing else." I personally live for the sake of others. And when I gave that pair of shoes, it was a name brand shoe, I'm not going to call the name. But when I gave that pair of shoes that valued at $135, a sneaker, to that kid, I saw the smile on his face. I saw how he became so into himself and not being left out as part, or how the other school members treated him. Now let's go back to that school I saw in Anchovy. When I looked down on the feet, I saw practically every child wearing a pair of clogs. And these pair of clogs, yes, they cost a pretty penny. Some of these clocks cost in excess of $30,000, $40,000, $25,000. They're not no cheap. They're not no cheap hand-me-down clocks that was made somewhere in China. These are expensive clocks that they're wearing. And I said to myself, how can the parents afford these clocks? And I know for a fact that some of these parents didn't buy these students the clocks. They obtain it by many other different ways. When I did my investigation, I found out that there were like 7 gangs in the school. I found out that there was extortion going on in the school. I found out that they were actually beating upon younger kids and taking away their lunch money in the schools. And I was flabbergasted because I remember when I was going to school, I could not imagine these things happening because they never did happen. Yes, we might have our squabbles here or there, but they never did happen. Because guess what? A good 90% of us was barefooted anyway. Yes, I went to school barefooted, and I didn't care if you were wearing the best pair of shoes. You know what I cared about? I was a whole lot smarter, clever, and wiser than the kids that were wearing shoes. Now let's get back to the parents. Remember, you're the first line of defense for your child. You are responsible to take care of your child. How dare you to go to school when there are other means of venting your feelings and you actually allegedly attack the teacher that is actually looking out for your child's welfare. Respect is what parents ought to teach their children. And my mother just turned 100 years on the 19th, last Saturday. And I felt proud to know that my mom whipped my ass every once in a while. And those whipping was justified because those whipping was what eventually made me who I am today. Parents, pay respect to your teachers because they're going through a lot of things as it is already. They're not being paid properly. They have their own personal problems, and yet still they find time out to teach your child. I used to think that when a teacher point a finger at a student very often in class, they're picking on that student. But you know what I found out? I found out that when a teacher points a finger at a student, often is when that student is not being responsive or when that student is a little bit behind on their grades, so they're paying particular attention. So that teacher is not taking set on you. The teacher is looking out to make sure that you learn. No, I'm not saying that there are not bad teachers out there. Sure, there are teachers that abuse some of their child in the classroom. You have teachers who do other things that is uncanny in the classroom. But those are very few and in between. So we as parents must respect our teachers that take the time out to nurture, to teach, and to give an education to our children. Remember the saying that if you can read this, thank a teacher. I respect my teachers. Yep. You all must remember Miss Gurley Brown. Yes, she was the one who taught me during basic schools, as we used to call it, when I was 2 years old plus going on. So wherever you are, Miss Gurley, resting, I salute you. I respect you. I will always remember you, and I honor you. And that goes for Miss Sims, Miss Muir, Miss Cutsmore, all the other teachers that taught me. I love you and respect you, honor you. And for those who are not here with us, take your well-earned rest. But Jamaica, something's definitely wrong with our society. We're too quick to anger. We're too quick to pull an offensive weapon. We're too quick to draw blood. What are we doing? What kind of example are we setting for the next generation of children if we do not instill respect, discipline, determination, dedication, and that burning desire to learn? So I'm not going to be long with this, but it just bothers me to know that in this time of age, when there's so much different things happening in and around our country, Jamaica, we are experiencing something as this. The class was disrupted. Other students are now suffering because of one action of your child, that if you as that parent had dealt with it in a responsible manner, it would never have happened. Jamaica, I love this beautiful country, and I know most of you do. And I know most of you are working assiduously to get this country going. We can't depend on the government. We can't depend on the police or the soldiers to do it. Yes, they're supposed to do their job, but it's us as parents that must teach, inculcate greatness in our children. So ladies and gentlemen, this is my message to you, and I want you to share this video. Share this video right around, because I want every single parent or parents to be to understand that it is your responsibility to look out for our pick-me them, because they're all our children. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Please like this video. Please make your comment in the comment section below. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, now is the time to do so. Thank you so much for watching.